Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Janelle. I upload new videos every Wednesday. Today I'm here with this makeup look for you guys. Today, this full face of makeup is going to be made with one brand of makeup products only, and that is the one and only, the OG MAC Cosmetics. So we're going to bring it back to like 2012, 2013 YouTube days where MAC was like the end all be all, and I feel like every makeup tutorial had like 95% of the products made from MAC. As some of you guys may know, I do work for MAC Cosmetics, so I know so much about the product. I know like so many new products that are good, so many old products. There's a lot of products that I'm a fan of, a lot of products I don't care for. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys like most of my favorite products. And I'm also going to be using only MAC brushes. So if you guys are interested in kind of learning about the OG MAC brand that everybody kind of just like drifted away from, then definitely keep on watching. But before we get into the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll be notified every Wednesday when I upload. I love you guys, and without any more rambling, let's jump into the super extra. I'm rambling, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so we're starting off with my skin already moisturized. Now I'm just going to quickly prime it. For primer, I have been loving my MAC Skin Refined Zone Primer. This stuff is bomb if you get super shiny in certain areas. Don't want to use too much of it because it is very mattifying, but I like to just focus this on my nose, chin, and right above my brows. Alright, so now we're going to prime my eyes. To prime my eyes, I'm going to be using my MAC Prolongwear Concealer in NC30. You can use the MAC Paint Pot, which is really good. I have it, but honestly, I just find concealer is so much easier. A little of this concealer goes a very long way. How did I already get it all over the barrel? Janelle, get your life together. I swear, I'm like the messiest makeup artist ever. At work, every time I do a makeover, like, I always end up with foundation all over my clothes. Like, it's a joke. So now we can move on to the eye makeup. So I'm going to start off this look by sweeping vanilla all over my crease, just as an all over base. Moving on, I'm going to take soft brown and sweep that all in my crease using my MAC 224. This is like one of my all-time favorite transition colors, and this blending brush I do like. However, I honestly prefer the new synthetic version of this MAC 224 because it's more tapered, so you're able to get like a more precise blend, if that makes sense. Whereas I feel like the old 224s, they're very fluffy, which a lot of people like, but I feel like you don't get enough like control. Like it just kind of throws the color all over. The thing with MAC brushes is that they are definitely an investment, but they last so long. Like I still have some of my MAC brushes from my junior year of high school, just like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And they're still in perfect condition because I always like took care of them. So when I just see people like abusing their brushes, I'm like, why? Why? I want to say this is Cork. I'm going to take the shade Cork right here. It's like a neutral brown with almost like an olive undertone. And I'm going to take that with my MAC 217S. Now, the synthetic version that they came out with is a lot denser, which at first I didn't like, but now I do like because, again, it allows me to get more of a precise blend. So I'm just going to lightly buff this underneath of the soft brown. I feel like we're so used to super rich, like pigmented, perfect swatch shadows. And I always hear people complaining about MAC shadows and how they're not pigmented enough. They are definitely like not super pigment right when you swatch them, but they are buildable. And what I love about them is that they blend seamless. Like I feel like I don't have to try as hard with my MAC shadows, and they blend really nice. I'm taking the shade Uninterrupted by MAC. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows literally of all time. I'm going to take that with my 224 again, lightly swirl into this, and I'm just going to graze that above all of my shadows just to give a little bit of that mustardy yellow into the look. Taking my same MAC 217 S brush, I'm going to take the shade Brun by MAC. It's like a very deep neutral brown. I'm going to focus that on the lower part of my eyelid. Take my 224 that has a little bit of that uninterrupted color left on it, and then just blend the edges so that everything's super smooth. So now for the fun part, I'm going to take the shade Lunar. This is an Extreme Dimension eyeshadow by MAC, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. Just in general, the Extreme Dimension eyeshadow formula from MAC is bomb. Like, they are kind of like pressed pigments. They're super rich and buttery. They start off as a cream and they bake them into a powder. So when you put it on the eye, it's just going to give such a pretty like wet foiled finish, which I love. With these shadows, you typically don't even need to use Fix Plus, but I always like using Fix Plus with them just to make them even more pigmented. And I'm going to take that with my MAC 242. This is literally my favorite brush of all time. Like, this is the only brush where I can't use a cheaper dupe for it. Like, to me, I can tell the difference when I'm using this brush to pack on a shade all over my lid versus like a Morphe duplicate. A lot of the other brushes, I really can't tell the difference once I'm working with them, but this one I can, and it is amazing. And this is the brush that I've had since I was a junior in high school. Yeah, so literally for like 6 years. This brush just packs on the color so nice. So once I get towards the end of my lid color, I just like kind of feathering it into the crease color. All right, so now I'm just going to take a MAC 228. This is like a super precise kind of flat shader brush. I'm going to dip into Carbon by MAC, which is a black shadow, and I'm just going to press that along the edges down here. And again, just kind of bringing it out because I'm going to be cleaning this up, so then in the end it'll give me a nice cat eye look. Flip my brush over, and on the other side I'm going to take the same brun color, the dark brown that we placed in our outer edge, and I'm going to blend that on top of the black, just lightly patting it, and then taking my 217 that has that leftover brun color and just patting the edges so that everything's nice and smooth. Next, I'm taking the shade Nylon by MAC. As you can see, I hit pan. This is like one of my favorite eye highlighting shades. I'm going to put that in my inner corner, and I'm going to take the shade It's About to Shine. I've used this in plenty of videos. This is a MAC Dazzle shadow, and it's going to be more sheer with kind of gold and silver sparkle. And just focus that in the front part of my eye, just to kind of open this area up a little bit. Alright, so we'll come back to the eyes in a second. I literally look like a serial killer, so I'm hoping this look comes together. So for foundation, I'm going to be using my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. Now, so many people feel some type of way about this foundation, and this definitely is a thicker consistency, but with a little bit, it can actually apply beautifully to the skin and really smooth out the skin. And you do have to properly prep your skin. So I have to apply a ton of moisturizer when I'm using this foundation. That way it won't look heavy or sit on the skin weird. But as long as you do that, this foundation can actually go on beautifully and wear a really long time. I'm going to take mine in the shade NC30 and NC40. A damp beauty blender. I'm just going to push that into my skin. And just so you know, like, MAC freestanding stores do carry beauty blenders, so this is technically a product that you can get from MAC. And with the beauty blender, I just literally like will press this into my skin for like 45 minutes just to make sure it's completely blended. It's definitely one of those foundations you really want to work into the skin so that everything looks super smooth, but it photographs really nice. Anything in our studio line is meant and like tested on production, tested on screens, tested for camera use. So it's gonna photograph really nice and just look good on camera. So now that I have foundation all over my skin, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal and brighten using my MAC Prolongwear concealer again. I love this concealer for under the eyes. I honestly will say this is comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape, just a thinner consistency, so it's not gonna look as heavy under the eyes. This is also very matte like the Tarte Shape Tape, so you wanna make sure you're using a good eye cream first before using this. But what I love about this concealer is that it does not crease under your eye. So once I'm completely highlighted, I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Stick in NW50. I'm going to use this to cream contour my nose. I love this color because it's not too cool and it's not too warm. And then I also like putting this around my mouth area to kind of contour and allow the lips to look a little fuller. Cute. And the reason why I like applying the cream contour on my nose before I blend out my concealer is because once I blend out my concealer, it helps blend out the cream contour so much easier. It's crazy. Like, this concealer, I really do feel like smooths out the under eye area. And then once I have that all blended out to set my entire face, I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix Foundation Powder in C4 and buff that all over my skin using my MAC 109. I love this brush for contouring, for buffing out powder. It's even great for buffing out foundation. Do you see how smooth my skin looks now just after buffing this powder? Like, it makes such a difference. Now we're gonna go ahead and bake the under eye using my MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder in Light. This powder is amazing for baking under the eyes. It's very sheer, but it does have some color, so it's not gonna go under the eyes like leaving a white cast. It's very smooth, so it doesn't leave the under eyes looking super dry either. I love the way this powder applies. So I'm just gonna pour some in the cap, and then with my beauty blender, pick up a good amount of it and work that under my eye. Alright, so while that bakes on my face and while I'm looking really crazy, we're gonna go ahead and bronze up the skin. You guys know what bronzer I already love. I literally use it in every single video, and that is my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. So to buff that all over the skin, I'm gonna take my MAC 150 and I'm gonna start it at my hairline. Then with a MAC 286 and the same bronzer, I'm just going to warm up the sides of my nose. And then I'm also going to work that bronzer toward the front of my eyeshadow so it kind of blends seamless into my nose contour. So with my MAC 159, I'm just going to wipe away my bake. Alright, we're now going to sculpt below the bronzer with the same powder we used to bake under the eyes. For blush, I'm going to take one of MAC's like iconic blush shades, and that is Warm Soul. This blush will literally go with any look. I feel like it changes depending on like the lip color you're wearing or the eyeshadow that you have on. Put that kind of right above the bronzer. And for this look, since it's very like smoky and edgy, I'm going to do more of like a sculpted blush look versus where normally I'll bring it all the way up in the apple region. This time I'm just going to kind of blend it into my bronzer and almost like contour with it, if that makes sense. I'm going to wipe away the chin straps. And then with a blending brush and a little bit of the powder that I used to bake, I'm going to take a tiny bit of that and blend it underneath of my brow bone, just so that everything's really fused together nicely. I'm going to touch up my brows a little bit just because some powder got in them and I don't want them to fade away. So again, I'm using my MAC Stud Eyebrow Styler pencil. And now I can go ahead and apply my MAC Brow Set Brow Gel. This brow gel is waterproof and it just locks your brows in place all day. I personally love a more feathery brow look, so I'll brush all my hairs upward. Alright, so now we're going to spray our faces with some Fix Plus. Alright, so next I'm going to take the shade Uninterrupted with my MAC 212 flat shader brush. I'm going to work this along my lower lash line. I'm going to take my MAC 219 pencil brush and use that to buff it out. And then with the same 212 brush and my Lunar shadow, I'm going to dip into that and put that right on top of my lower lashes. And then this time with a clean blending brush, I'm just going to buff out that blue. So for highlight, I'm going to be using a tried and true. We're going to take Soft and Gentle by MAC. This was the first ever highlighter I ever had in my life, and I love this highlighter so much. It goes with any look. Just a beautiful champagne tone. So I'm going to put that down my nose. I need a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to go into my MAC Hyper Real highlight palette, the gold one. And I'm going to take the light gold in this middle color and apply that to the front. And then a little bit right underneath of my eyebrow. So my lashes that I ordered on Amazon haven't come in yet, so I'm gonna have to use the same pair that I ordered, but like a pair that I've already used like 10 million times. So it's not gonna look as flawless as it could look, but we're just gonna work with it anyway. These are the lashes that I swear by. They just go on so pretty. I'm gonna link them down below. Lashes are the only thing in this video that are not MAC, because to be honest, MAC needs to step up their lash game. They're $17 for a pair of lashes, but like, we came out with some new lashes not long ago and those weren't bad, but beside like the one pair of new lashes that I think are worth it, the rest I really don't think are worth any hype. Like, I mean, they're pretty, they'll get the job done, but I just feel like with so many other makeup brands coming out with such beautiful lashes, like, it's time MAC steps up their lash game. To prep my top and bottom lashes, I'm using my Extended Play Mascara by MAC. I love this especially for the lower lashes. I'm also going to line my waterline using my MAC Teddy eyeliner. This is just a really pretty like bronze liner, so if you don't want anything too harsh in the waterline but you want it a little smoky, take this pencil. It's so pretty. So to line my lips, I'm going to take Stripdown by MAC. This is one of my favorite pencils ever. Next, I'm going to fill in my lips using Burnt Spice, the Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick. And then over top of that, I'm going to take the shade Honey Love toward the center of the lip. And then to sharpen up the edges of the lip liner, I'm going to take the shade Cork by MAC. It's a little bit darker. And since I want to warm up the lip a little bit, I'm going to take the shade Mocha by MAC and just lightly tap that on top. Gosh, like 6 lipsticks later. And then last, to give it a glossy finish, I'm going to take one of the best lip glosses of all time. This is the Cremesheen Glass by MAC in Boy Bay. This looks pretty by itself over top of any nude lipstick, and it's not sticky. And then last, we're going to set the face with the one and only Fix Plus. This is the best setting spray of all time. Alright, so here you have it. This is the completed makeup look. I do kind of feel like a serial killer with my eyes being so smoky, but I did have a lot of fun putting this look together, kind of trying some new products, stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm so used to using my staple MAC products, but I've never really do like a full face using like one brand. So it's kind of cool because it forces you to use like products together that you wouldn't normally mix together, and I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I really do love how my skin looks. The eyes, they're different for me, but I do like how it all kind of like blended together and worked out. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more like one branded makeup tutorials. I love you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!